say,
Just start doing it.
oh, just do it.
And just try.
Hey guys, you're listening to Andreas Talks Art with your host, Andreas Kramer.
It's the wild, wild west out here, and I'm trying to hunt down all the artists on their creative pursuit. Art is this expression of human imagination that drives the process of introspection and contemplation, that creates a limitless potential of creativity. And in the end, it's not about the art, it's about the mind and the soul that turn their imagination into a reality. So what does it mean to be an artist? And more importantly, what does art mean to you?
When you fall off of this constant state of creation and you go a couple days without it, do you have ways of getting back into it, or is it just something you pick back up again?
Old version of me would be like depressed about it. Would be like, I didn't do something for 2 days, so I'll spend the next 3 days whining. More grown up me is like, oh, just do it. So okay, I let a couple days lapse and I didn't create a thing. Well, then create right now. The second you think of it, then do it right now. Doodle, write, make a poem, do some scales, something, anything.
Any tips or advice for new artists or people who are just getting into it and not sure what to do?
Oh, wow. Oops. I would recommend doing what I did.
Yeah.
And coming and actually meeting, coming to first Fridays or maybe third Fridays are better. Meet the artists. They're better in the sense that there's not as much people, so you could actually talk to the artists or just come down to galleries. Like I'd come to Sunday brunch sometime and come and meet the artists and talk to them and see what it's like and if it's what you want to do. And then also too, just start doing it.
Yeah.
Just start doing it.
Start messing up.
just get the stuff and get the paints and go for it.
Yeah.
Maybe like take some lessons. Like I taught at Hobby Lobby for a while.
Okay.
And just it wasn't expensive, like $10 per student, or just do that, something like that maybe, and just because everybody. One of the things that a professional artist told me is that everybody thinks they're an artist. You go to a paint and sip and so there's a lot of people that are very artsy and craftsy, but the difference comes in when it's a business and when you're really pursuing it and getting more serious about it. That's where you're going to find truly dedicated, all in 100% artists that are doing it all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would recommend, really, is to get to know people and get your feet wet. Just start doing it and keep practicing. Take some classes, maybe. No matter what, do it, whether you're going to go pro or not. But it helped me. You realize they're just, they're people.
For someone who's just starting off getting into photography, do you have any advice or tips for them?
It depends. If you want to do the professional and stuff, I'm gonna ask you to go take classes. It's a good shortcut.
Do you have any advice or tips for someone who's either looking to get into bookbinding or plein air painting?
Like with plein air painting, it's like do it every day, do it all the time. Everyone's like take bug spray, take sunscreen, don't wear sunglasses. I made that mistake. Everyone makes that mistake. You have to wear a brimmed hat. Because when you're looking at sunglasses, it changes the tint. Yeah. So the painting will look great with your sunglasses on, and then you take them off and you're like, oh, that's garbage. So, yeah, if you're plein air painting, don't wear your sunglasses.
And you just have to sell sunglasses with the piece.
Yeah, well, I actually work for an eye doctor, and I'm like, is there something else I can wear? And he's like, probably. So we'll see. Yeah, that would be an expensive painting. Yeah. It comes with Ray-Bans. So, yeah, that would be my plein air advice. Like, do it all the time. Do it every day. For bookbinding, there's so many resources online. There's so many YouTube videos that will get you started. There's some great books about bookbinding that you can read, which is so nerdy. Books about that. All the books I have are about bookbinding and painting. So I'd say do that. It can be difficult to source the materials. That's the main reason why I came up with the kits. Yeah. Was you have to buy usually in bulk, and what if you don't really like doing it, you know?
Like, what materials is it that
So
it's hard to find?
Book board can be kind of hard to find. The tools, it's like you can't, sometimes you can buy them all in one place, but when I'm sourcing for my kits, I'm buying from like 3 different places because between shipping and like limitations on certain things,
Yeah.
you know. So it's getting all the things. You can buy book kits like in, I feel like I saw them in like Meinigers, and you can probably get them from Blick and stuff. So I'd say like either buy a kit from somewhere, because otherwise you're going to get really overwhelmed on a very technical website that has like a million things you don't need. Like Talas is a great website, TALAS. They're like the bookbinding supply for the States, and they're out of Brooklyn. But if you go to that website and you don't know what you're buying, your brain's going to explode because they have everything. They have everything. So buy a kit. Like, don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll learn so much more after that. But in the beginning, it's going to be way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like a lot of people have this similar issue of this, like, it's almost this like fear of getting started, and it stems from a lot of different reasons. But I feel a lot of people feel this pressure from seeing all these other creators who have this perfect content, right? Whether it's like their gear or how they edit, and that creates a lot of like anxiety, like from never like putting anything out. So you only film with an iPhone. You don't have any extra gear. Do you have anything to like say for like people who are like unsure of how to start, where to start, feel like they're like behind or like don't have the right stuff to make what they want to make?
I say just go for it. You know, just use what you have.
Yeah.
Like, I only had an iPhone, you know, because at the time, you know, when I started my YouTube channel, I couldn't afford a camera.
Yeah.
I can now, but I just think being able to record using my phone, you know, just kind of like settles me back and be like, yo, you know, you still have a good ways to go, you know. So it's like my goal is once I get monetized to just start using that money to just keep putting it back in the channel and then started getting gear and stuff like that. But I think it's very important to just like not get like frustrated and not start because of some of the things you don't have. Mr. Beast, one of the biggest YouTubers, he started recording with his iPhone 5, and it took him 7 years before he even hit 1K subscribers, and now he has like over 50 million subscribers. So it's like, as long as you get out there and start, you know, I think in the end you would be rewarded for it if you just keep going on through it. And I think that's really important to not really just look at other people, but more so focus on yourself. Like, what do I have now that I can put out? You know, and at that time I only had an iPhone to record with, so I was like, okay, I'll just use this and I'll still be able to make entertaining content. And I've been able to do that. It's just like really fun, and it's like, it's also fun because it's like challenging as well. But it's also a little frustrating sometimes when you have to record, take it down, and go record at a different angle than just being able to have 5 different cameras set up and just recording differently. Hopefully I'll get there one day, you know, and be able to like a photo photography team, you know, they just record, do all the recording, have an editing team. That's the goal eventually, but now I think it's just really fun because it's like, it's more personal.
Right.
It's like I'm being able to connect with my video more personal, and I'm going to work harder to keep this going because, you know, I just have these things.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it also, like, you learn so much from it, whereas, like, if you had all that now, you wouldn't understand everything that goes into the creation of the videos, and being at the beginning with nothing almost, it allows you to really like understand the full process and the full potential of when you do have everything. Right.
It makes you work a lot harder.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't have that much now, but I'm gonna work really hard with what I have. And once I get those things, you know, I'll be able to sit back and be like, wow, I've really done it. You know, used to be on an iPhone, and now I have like all these $1,000 cameras recording me. You know, it's like, it's I think it's really important. You know, I think I would definitely prefer any time to start off with barely anything and be able to work up from that than just be giving like everything to start it off with. I think it just allows me to work a little bit harder. So I think that's like really important to just be able to work with whatever you have.
Do you have any tips for someone who's trying to take their art from hanging in their house to putting it out in the world?
Yeah, I would say, if you have the opportunity to do it, because it's a wonderful experience to just get your artwork out there and get your name out there and just try, because a lot of people, especially at Denver Art Society, I've seen so many fantastic artists. We have so many new artists that are just great. If they wouldn't have come into the gallery, their stuff would still be sitting at home. And so I think it's super important to get out there, and even if you don't think it's that great, let other people do.
Thanks for listening. Share this with your friends if you liked it. And don't forget to be cool. Peace out.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Andreas Talks Art. Don't forget to leave me a review. It helps me improve the show. And if you got anything out of this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you shared it with one of your friends. Till next time, we out.